Hello students, through this video we are going to learn the first chapter of your science textbook, that is the nutrition in plants. Students, think that throughout our day we take 2 to 3 or more than 3 times of food daily. But why do we take food? We have also studied that food gives us energy, food helps in our body growth and development, as well as food also help us fighting against the disease. So what is nutrition is then? So let's learn. So first of all, what this chapter is all about? First of all, I am giving the objectives. Objective means what are the things we are going to learn. Objectives. Students, from this chapter, what are the things that you are going to learn? Right. First thing you will learn that what is nutrition. Second thing you are going to learn that what is autotrophic nutrition. Third thing you are going to learn is the process of photosynthesis that happens in the plants. Next thing is that what is heterotrophic nutrition and what are the different types of heterotrophic nutrition that happen in plants. So mode of nutrition, it means the way the plant collects its own food, right? The plant collects its food by two ways. So these are the two modes of nutrition. The first one is the autotrophic nutrition and the second one is the heterotrophic nutrition. So let's discuss about these two of them. So the first one is the autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition means in this nutrition, so plants can prepare their own food from the simpler substances. So they are also called as autotrophs. So the next one is the heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition means the organism who cannot prepare their own food from simpler substances. They just depend upon other. That means look at the deer, it is grazing from the field. It means it collecting from the other plants, or we also collect from different plants or animals for our food. So we are also known as heterotroph and our nutrition mode is heterotrophic nutrition. Now let's understand photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is a process by which the plants prepare its own food. I mean autotrophic nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, the plants prepare food through the process of photosynthesis. Okay. So here the definition is written here. So now let's understand more about the photosynthesis. Raw materials for photosynthesis. I mean the plant prepare its own food. I told before. So it requires some simpler substances. So what are the substances required to prepare food are the raw materials. Here the plant require, first one is the carbon dioxide. Here it is mentioned that carbon dioxide, it is taken from the atmosphere, and you can say that the sunlight is also coming. The arrow mark showing that sunlight is coming to the plants. Yes, the sunlight is also used by the plants. Now you see it is showing the picture of its roots, because plant also require water to prepare its food. So you see how the water is going through the roots and it is reaching to the plant. And where it is reaching, next we will be seeing. So it reaches to the leaf, right? The water is coming to the leaf to prepare the food. Here you can see that some of the water also going out. We have studied transpiration, some of the water materials removed out. Here, see here, it is the stomata. Stomata, where it is present, look at the picture of stomata again. Here the green color thing is the stomata. It is present in the leaf. So here it is the picture of a stomata. It is present in the leaf. It is generally present on the lower surface of the leaf. I mean, so if you look at the leaf, you will find it's the upper surface is little dark green, where the lower surface is little light green, because the upper surface contains more chlorophyll. You know, chlorophyll is a part of the leaf where actually food is prepared. Chlorophyll, remember the name. And chlorophyll looks green. That's why the upper part of the because you know the most of the why upper part is green more. So because the sunlight is received by the upper plant and chlorophyll is present in more amount to receive the sunlight so that it can prepare the food. So it is more dark green on the upper side and less dark green on the lower side. But the stomata is present in the lower side of the leaf. So what is its role? Stomata generally do two things. So what are the two things? First thing is it collect the carbon dioxide which is required by the plants to prepare the food, and second thing is it release the oxygen. Okay, after the food preparation, oxygen is produced in the plants, so it is released by the through the stomata. So see, the plants receiving the water and carbon dioxide, it goes to the leaf, right? And finally it is reaching, yes, carbon dioxide is taken through the stomata, leaf pores. It is also known as the leaf pores. Product of photosynthesis means what are the things are produced. You know, we have already told that plant prepare food. So what are the things prepared? Let's see. Not only the food, it also prepare another thing, that is it given that oxygen. The plant is taking carbon dioxide for preparation of the food and it is releasing oxygen. So here in a simple red color column box, here it is written that plant is taking two things, that is the carbon dioxide and water. And where it is happening, I mean where the food is prepared, it is prepared in the chlorophyll which is present in the leaf, and it also requires the sunlight to prepare it. Just like we need fire to cook any food, so leaf also requires sunlight to prepare the food. What is the food is prepared here? The food is your carbohydrate. The name of that food is here, it is carbohydrate. It is also known as glucose, and another gas is produced by the plant in the process of photosynthesis is oxygen. Students, you might be thinking that all the plants are autotrophs. I mean all the plant can prepare their own food. You may be right, but there are some plants who cannot prepare their own food, right? Here just take a look at this picture. Here an fly is, yeah, it is trapped. Right, because not all the plants can prepare their own food. There are some plants they collect their food from the other. So let's find out what are the different way of heterotrophic nutrition. So types of heterotrophic nutrition. First one is the parasitic plants. Second one is the saprophytic plants. Third one is the symbiotic plants, and fourth one is the insectivorous plants. First, let's understand what is the parasitic. So parasite means they just stay on a living body and collect food from that. Just like on our head, some you can see some persons have some lice. They stay on them and collect their food. Similarly, here it is a picture of, it is either cuscata or amarbel. It is a plant, but it lives on other plants and collect food from the other plant. It don't have leaf or root, right? You can see the picture here, amarbel. You can see this plant on the other plants in your surrounding too. It is green in color and long. Okay, it don't have any leaf. It collect from other. So the plant from which it collect food also known as the host plants. You can see many in our surroundings. You will find this type of many thread-like structures there. This is the, and another picture was there. Example was this one. This flower is known as the Rafflesia. So it is also found in other plants, right? It collect food from the other plants, other living plants, right? So these are the parasitic plants example. Okay, so here the definition is written that you can note it. Okay, next come to another. So saprophytic plants. Saprophytic plants means here you can see the pictures of mushrooms. Here it is written that it is an example of saprophytic plants. You can see in a surrounding there are mushrooms all over. So you can see that they are coming out some spoiling things. Just like you can see if there is any spoiled rice husks uh, or spoiling wooden parts, you will see that some of the mushrooms are coming out. Mushrooms, so these are coming out from the dead organisms. That means they are not created from the dead organisms, no, they are collecting their food from that dead things, dead or decaying things, I mean spoiling things. You can see that some of the mushroom like structures are coming out from the cow dung also. So these are the saprophytic, they collect food from the dead organisms. So here the definition is written. Examples: fungi, mushroom group. Then the next one is the symbiotic plants, and their mode of nutrition is called as the symbiotic nutrition. So what do you mean by symbiotic nutrition? Here is the definition is given, and symbiotic nutrition means two plants living together and they are helping each other to collect their food. The first one will be helping the other to collect their food, and the second one will help with the first one to collect their food. Here it is giving the example of a lichen. Lichen, it is generally present on the surface of rocks, plant barks, so green color structure. But here two group of organisms live here, known as algae and fungi. So these two, algae will help fungi to get its food, and fungi will help algae to get its food. So this type of nutrition is known as symbiotic nutrition, and the organisms are known as symbiont. Let's go to another example. Here the rhizobium, another example of a symbiote. They are present on the roots. It is a dal plant and they are present on their roots, rhizobium bacteria. They give the dal plant nitrogen gas, which is used by the dal plants to prepare protein. Nitrogen is very important to prepare protein. We know that dal plant gives more protein, so the rhizobium bacteria helps the plant. Similarly, the rhizobium bacteria takes the food from the dal plants. So this became a, here it is a picture of rhizobium bacteria. So this became an example of symbiotic nutrition or symbiont. Grams, beans, these are all the dal, means giving more proteins. Next one is the insectivorous plants. It's very interesting. Insectivorous plant. Yes, there are some plants which trap the insect and digest it. Here look at the example. It is a pitcher plant, right? Here pitcher plant is a plant, it traps, it holds the insect. Yeah, look at here, and it can digest the insect too, right? Interesting creature of our nature. Yes, yeah. It has also leaves, but it has also it can also digest the animals, some small animals like flies, and it can also eat it. So such plants are known as the insectivorous plants. So finally, let's go to the summary. So what are the things we learned from this chapter? Let's summarize. So first thing is, you learn that the process by which all living organisms take food and utilize it to get energy is called nutrition. Second thing is that plants can take food by two methods, that is autotrophic and heterotrophic. Then the autotrophic nutrition means that it prepare their own food by the photosynthesis process, and the plants are known as autotrophs who prepare their own food. Similarly, photosynthesis is a process by which green plants synthesize their own food from carbon dioxide and water in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. In heterotrophic mode of nutrition, plant, they cannot prepare their own food, they just depend directly on the other plants. They are also known as heterotrophs. Parasitic plant, I've told, they collect their food directly from other plants, staying on them, and the other plant is known as here host. Another is the plants which take food from the dead organisms are known as the saprophytic, or this nutrition is known as saprophytic nutrition. And lichen is a specific group of plants. Here both algae and fungi live together and help each other to collect food. This is symbiotic relationship. And insectivorous, some plants eat the insect. So these are the example is pitcher plant, Drosera,